Hello, and welcome to the Coach Therapy Podcast. I'm Coach Q, and I am so excited that you decided to tune in today. We're going to take a journey through vulnerability so that we can reach clarity, healing, growth, and success. You're going to learn some things about you, you'll learn some things about me, but most importantly, you will receive tools every episode that will help you to become better every single day. Enjoy Coach Therapy. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Coach Therapy. I'm Coach Q, and I'm grateful that you have tuned in once again. And listen, we are not slowing down. I told y'all I'm in it for the long haul. This is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm enjoying it more and more each week. It's like what started off as my biggest one of the fears that I had to just to start a podcast where there's so many podcasts out there. I feel so blessed that I went ahead and did it because each week I feel more purposeful. I was trying to get back to me. I wanted to feel like myself again. Have you ever gone through a season where you just don't feel like yourself and your energy is low? You feel depleted. The reason why sometimes we don't feel like ourselves is because we're not doing the things that we're supposed to be doing. We're not living a purpose filled life. And that was me. I was just kind of on the sidelines. I just wanted to be quiet. I wanted to figure it out, wanted to have everything together before I move forward. But I was causing myself to feel further away from who I truly am. And it's just because I wasn't living in purpose, on purpose. And so I want to encourage you, just go ahead and start doing your thing, start moving forward. And you'll be surprised how you begin to come alive and start to really feel better, and your energy will pick up, and I'm grateful. And so as I continue to record these episodes week after week, I'm like, yeah, there she go, there she is. And it feels so good to be back to me, a better version of me. A lot of times when we feel like we've lost our way, we try to get back to a place that we can recall where we felt our best. And the reality is, you should never try to just get back to where you were, but to a better version of who you were. And I feel like a better version of me. And yes, there's still some things that I am working towards, but I really do feel like a wiser version of myself, a more joyful version of myself. And yeah, I wouldn't trade it. And so I just hope that you can get back to that space too, because it is so important that we aren't just going through seasons of existing and not really living. I know too often, I know that we do that too often. I know what that feels like. I've been in that space. Um, I know what it feels like to be in a space of just survival. Some of us are literally dying in survival mode. And I know that sounds oxymoronic. How can you die in survival mode? Well, there comes a time where survival is not enough. We have to learn how to really thrive. If you just go through a period of only surviving, you're not happy. There's no joy in that season. And we owe it to ourselves to shift, to move from the survival mode to the thriving mode, right? And I was just stuck in survival mode too long. There are seasons where the goal is to survive. Pain can be so great that we just need to survive. Life can be so hard that we need to survive. However, we have a responsibility to evolve from just surviving. That's not enough. In this world, I hear a lot about like healing, and so many people use healing as the just as a buzzword, right? Like, I'm healing right now, I'm going through healing. And as you heal, nobody can tell you, let me say that, nobody can tell you how fast your healing process should be, how quickly you should progress. And I am not here to tell you that either. I want to be very sensitive to those of you who are dealing with something great and you are on a journey to heal. I want to say, take your time. By all means, go through your process. Don't worry about what others' process may have looked like or the timing that it has taken them. But what I will say is that I don't want you to just get caught up in a lifestyle of surviving. You owe it to yourself to do more than just survive. Yes, you have overcome the trauma. Yes, you made it through the difficult heartbreak. Yes, you are living with grief and now you're out of just the survival mode and you're ready to elevate your life. You're ready to feel like you again. You're ready to feel whole again. And the way that you do that is by moving the needle. You in survival mode, we may do the bare minimum, right? In survival mode, we do just enough. But when we're trying to get to a place of elevation and thriving, we got to take it a whole notch forward. We got to say, even when I don't feel like it, even when I don't have the energy, even when I'm low, I'm going to push myself to be purposeful. That's how you make that transition into really, really thriving in life. And so I was there. I was just surviving, um, doing enough to get by. And now I feel myself. I feel my wings. I feel my energy and my strength getting up. And I'm like, oh, there is a shift going. But that shift really took place when I made the decision to push past how I feel. So push. Who am I talking to? Some of y'all, somebody need to push. Somebody need to go buy my book that I got out, Pregnant with a Vision, because it talks a lot about pushing. That's I wrote that book 5 years ago, and I know what it is to have something on the inside that needs to come out. And it is a, oh God, it is a push, push, push to get it out of there. So that's your little motivational speech. I wouldn't be Coach Q if I didn't throw in a little motivational speech to get you going. I am actually on vacation. I am in Orlando. I'm on family vacation and I got a little quiet time. I brought my podcast mic because I knew I would get some quiet time because I knew that my sister and the kids, they were going to go to the park and ride and be in that scorching hot sun. And I knew that I would have some time to just be alone and it would be quiet. And I'm utilizing this time to podcast. I'm also struggling today. For whatever reason, my Invisalign is giving me the blues today. Um, I switch trays, and sometimes when you switch trays, it's like the talking is like, "Yeah, I can't talk, like all my teeth. It's just crazy. But I'm committed to wearing them because I want a really good smile. And I'm almost done. I'm actually like on the end of having the Invisalign. So if you hear me stumbling off over my words today, that's what it is. But I'm gonna still do this podcast because why not? Why not take this good lighting and this quiet time to chat with you all and really talk about some stuff that's on me and that I want to share with you all. And so I'll start. Here's my vulnerability. In starting this podcast, I wanted to, I just wanted to grow. I wanted to be like this amazing podcast to reach millions of people. That's what I want. And in starting this podcast, it is an amazing podcast that is reaching possibly 100 people right now. And that can be discouraging. Sometimes I'll go and check out the numbers and they're just low. And I'm like, dang, okay, got to keep going. And sometimes I'm in my head about it. Like, see, girl, I don't know if you should have did that podcast. I don't know if it was a good idea. And this is me being raw and vulnerable because somebody's in the beginning stages of something and you don't feel like it's working out and your faith is wavering. You know you're supposed to be doing it, but it's not what you envision. I'm telling you, when I closed my eyes and thought about podcasting, I never was like, oh, I just want 100 views. I didn't say that, right? I saw it being much bigger, but it's the beginning that is so important. It is taking the steps towards the big picture. And no, I'm not there yet, but I have to do this step. And what's amazing about this step is that these beginning steps, it's really developing something in me. It's really making me more confident, and it's giving me an opportunity to improve. And a lot of times we want the success before we take the journey, but the journey develops us and it prepares us for the success. And so I had to say, hey, if you only get 10 views, that's 10 more views that you have by actually doing it. Because if you were doing nothing, it would be 0. I thought about that thing the other day. I was like, man, and I ended up saying, God, thank you for the views that I have since I've started. Because when I wasn't doing anything, nobody was watching. And the more I just show gratitude for the progress that I'm making, the better I feel. I don't want to be the person that people look at and think that there was no process to go along. It's a process for it all. The wisdom that I have is a process. Pain. Oh God, pain taught me some stuff. It taught me some stuff that I was like, Lord Jesus. But it gave me wisdom. And that's a part of the process. And now even just taking the journey of from good to great, it's a process. And there is someone out there who is like, hey, I want to start something. And I know your dreams are big and I know your ideas are dope. And it seems like once you get started, you just don't have the same momentum. Keep going, because the momentum will come. It will come as you continue going. But this is the thing. If we start and then we stop because we don't have the momentum, then we're not going to finish. It's like, no, you got to start and then do it again and again and again and again. And whatever it is that you've seen for your life, allow it to come. But you can only get to that by the progression that you take, the steps that you make. You're going to progress every day, every time you do it. Every time I turn on this microphone, it's progression into the steps that I've seen, that I've envisioned for my life, that I believe are mine. And so now I'm like, yo, I'm gonna walk in that direction. But it's not always easy. I'm currently working on a project called Living in Your Leap. And essentially what that is once you make a decision to do something, live in it. You got to live through the disappointment of it. You have to live through the highs and the lows and the uncertainties and the emotional wear and tear of it. It is once you make that decision that I'm going to do this, live in it, commit to it. And that's how we get to the next place. Because yes, we're going to have the disappointment. Yes, we're going to want to throw in the towel. Things are not going to always work out. And everything in you is like, yo, stop, throw it away, get rid of it. But you have to commit to it. And I'm so committed to this because I know that there is greater for me. I know it is. And there is greater for you. But it is time. Oh, who needs this? It's time to get up, get moving, keep going, and don't you stop until you see the thing that you envision for your life. Don't stop. If you haven't gotten up yet and you're just thinking about it, I want you to get up now. Those thoughts, you've had enough time to ponder on that. I want you to get up now and you got to start moving in the right direction and go after what it is that you've been thinking about, what it is that you've been praying about, what it is that you done told other people about, but you ain't put no action behind. Get up and do it. It's that time. And it's just, I feel so passionate about it and I feel so strong about it because I realize that just every time I get up, there's something that comes from it. It may not be the ultimate blessing, but man, I can feel the blessing showing up. And I'm like, wow, things are happening. I had this amazing story that this blessed me, and I want to share it. Somebody called me the other day, and I to respect the privacy of the person, I won't mention a name, but I received a phone call, and this individual had been going through some challenges um, with health, and they've just been home and kind of just chilling out, relaxing, getting well, but they knew that they needed to start moving forward and getting up and doing some things. And I was at home and I was praying at the time. And I was like, Lord, I was praying about this podcast. And I was like, Lord, please bless, you know, what it is that I'm doing. You know what I want it to be. And I asked that you would just allow it to grow and reach people. And in the middle of me praying, my phone rings and it's a phone call from somebody that doesn't call me often. And I pick up the phone, and this individual proceeded to just say, hey, I just wanted to tell you, don't stop. Don't stop podcasting because it's been months and I haven't gotten up until hearing your podcast about getting out of your own way. And because of that, I got up and I started walking and I started moving and I'm feeling better. And they were in tears and emotional sharing this with me. And honestly, it made me emotional. I kept thanking them for calling me and for sharing that with me because I didn't know. I didn't know why I had to get up and get out of my own way. And it blessed me because I say it all the time that our gift is not just for us. There are other people that are assigned to our gifts. And there was somebody else who was assigned to my podcast that needed to hear that. And it blessed me to know that somebody, oh, wow, somebody needed what I had to say, so much so that it helped them to get up. That is going to aid in improving their health. Like, wow, I wasn't even thinking that it would do that. But look at what it's doing. And so that's why it's important that we just continue moving forward and not to despise the small beginnings. I know it seems so small and it seems so insignificant, but it's not. Your greatest blessings come from the smallest moments. I'm telling you, the moment when you just think nobody's watching you, that's the moment that the person that has the ability to help change your life is watching, they're listening. You just gotta go. I was thinking the other day, and a quote came to my mind: the greatest accessory to greatness is consistency. It can be tough to be consistent. It can be tough to just show up when you feel like you're the only one showing up. It can be tough to show up when you feel like there's no audience watching me show up. The people that I'm doing it for, where are they? And it can be tough. And you can just want to say, forget it. But as you continue to show up in that consistent nature, there are just blessings on the other side of that. Even in doing this podcast, it's like a documentation of what I know will happen, that I'll be able to play this back. Like right now, you just might be listening to it as motivation. Stick with me. You'll be listening to this as a testimony because I will be able to say, I remember that I did this podcast and I was talking about being consistent. And I was talking about when it was just a small beginning and it wasn't everything that I envisioned it being. Now look at what it is today. This will be a testimony. And that's why I have to continue showing up. And that's why I'm being vulnerable, because There are some of you out there who is starting something or need to start something, and you don't want to look like you don't know what you're doing. It's cool. Do it anyways. One of my friends posted something that says many people don't start because they're afraid of looking like a beginner. And that punched me right in the face. I was like, ooh, because it's amazing how we want to be an expert at something that we haven't even tried our hand at. We want to look like we got it all together, and we haven't even gotten one thing so that we can even be on that path. And it shook me so. I was like, child, go with your beginner self, brand new podcasting self, and make an episode. Because 1,000 miles begins with one step. So we got to take the step. We got to do what we said we were going to do. And then we have to watch the blessings unfold in our lives. And so be it. So what if it's not perfect? So what if it's 1,000 people doing it better than you? Do it anyways. Right? And so that's why I'm doing it. And I'm sharing with you, and I'm taking you on a journey with me, because I don't want you to look at me and say, it was perfect for Coach Q. She had everything she needed. No, I did not. No, I do not. Right? There are still things that I'm like, ooh, okay, I need that. I want to change this. I want to elevate that. It's a whole bunch of stuff that I think about when I watch my playbacks that I want. But guess what? The one thing that I have right now is the gift. The gift is my voice, using my voice. The gift is the wisdom that God has given me. Have what I need in that regard. So anything else, the aesthetics of things, and advanced technology for things, and the perfect setup for that will come. But I have the main things. I have the main ingredients. And so I'm going to utilize that. And I want you to utilize your main ingredients. You already have it. You already have the idea for the business. Why aren't you starting it? You're already talented enough to do the crafts and to do the events. Why aren't you doing it? You're smart enough to go ahead and go back to school. Why aren't you going? You have the main ingredient. The main ingredient will take you there, because all of the accessories will come. There will be people along the way that will bless you. There will be opportunities that will provide you with what you need. But you are the main ingredient. And if the main ingredient won't show up, nothing else will. So you got to get it moving. And so this is just an episode to let you know, don't worry about those small beginnings. When I first started this podcast, the very first day, my sister sent me a message and she said, despise not the small beginnings. God is going to bless you. And I looked at that and I was like, all right. And here I am. He's blessing me already. Every time I get on this mic, he's blessing me. Every time you tune in, he's blessing me. I'm on my way somewhere. I want y'all to come, but I want y'all to see. I want you to see it unfold. I want you to be a part of the testimony with me. And so I hope that this encourages you to go ahead and start. Don't worry about how small it is, how insignificant it is. Go ahead and start. And watch how, watch how it becomes a blessing to you and to others. And so I hope that this is encouraging for you. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Coach Therapy. And of course, we'll talk again soon.